Actually went through then two extremely challenging transitions, not just one leaving that very closed ultra-Orthodox community and the other transitioning. Where did you find the courage to leave that community that, as you describe it, was so closed where you didn't really know anything on the outside?
It's hard for me to even say how exactly I found the courage, and it's a question that I get a lot. And I've done in the last 2 years over 100 speeches, public speeches, where I talk to all different kinds of crowds, ages, religions, and so on. And I don't even know. The way I experienced it was that I got to a point where I couldn't anymore. I pushed off leaving the community until I was 21 because I was trying to see maybe something is still going to work out. And even after I left, it took me 3 more years until I had the courage enough to transition. While I knew throughout this whole time who I am, and I knew that I struggle with gender dysphoria, I knew that I identify as a woman and that I'm not going to be happy otherwise, but I actually pushed it off. I joke that if I really had courage, I would have transitioned when I was 16. So for me, it felt a lot more where there was no other choice. It got to a point where my only option was leaving the community, and then 3 years later, my only option to survive was transitioning. And I think that is an experience that a lot of trans people have.
Well, you say the only option to survive. What was the breaking point for you?
So in terms of leaving, the breaking point was around the time that my son was born. I have a son who is almost 6 years old by now. And around the time he was born, I was getting even more confused because I didn't know anything really about what gender is. I just knew what I felt, and I was afraid of how am I passing this on. I call that sometimes gender began punching me in the face. I got to a point where looking on passing that on to the next generation, and I'm like, here am I living in a community where my own identity can be recognized and I can't live it, and now I'm bringing a child in this community, and that got really hard for me. So a big part of the push for leaving was my own child and kind of hoping that he would see something else, that he would see something better.
Abby, stay with us.
And then in terms of transition.
Stay with us, hold that thought. We're going to go out for a very quick break. Abby Stein and Carmit Levite right here in the studio. This conversation continues when we're back. Don't go anywhere.